she could leave him. She should leave him. He had used her, lied to her, almost gotten her crew killed. He was a snake, a survivor, a man who would sell anyone to save himself. She should walk out the door, drive back to Busan, forget she ever knew his name. She pulled out her phone, dialed Dongsu. Boss? I need a doctor. In Incheon. Discreet. Send someone now. Are you hurt? No. She looked at Joon-hyuk. But someone is. She hung up, knelt beside him, pressed her hand to his wound, his side, just below the ribs. The bleeding had slowed, but it hadn't stopped. His eyes fluttered open. Hana, he whispered. Don't talk. You came. Don't talk. You should have left me. I know. She pressed harder. He winced. Shut up. He smiled. That familiar, infuriating smile. Even now. You're saving me. After everything. I'm not saving you. I'm keeping you alive long enough to kill you myself. Fair. She tore a strip from her shirt, bound the wound. His blood soaked through her fingers. Why? He asked. His voice was fading. Why did you come? Hana looked at him, at the man who had helped her escape, who had betrayed her, who had somehow become the only person she didn't want to lose. Because I'm tired, she said, of losing people I don't hate. His eyes widened, then softened. You don't hate me. I hate you. She tied the bandage tight. But you're useful. He laughed weakly, then winced. Liar. Shut up. The doctor arrived 20 minutes later. A woman, mid-40s, carrying a bag full of supplies. She didn't ask questions. She just worked. Hana watched from the corner. Watched the doctor clean the wound, stitch the flesh, pump antibiotics into his arm. When it was done, the doctor stood. He needs rest. 24 hours, no movement. If he survives the night, he'll survive. He'll survive, Hana said. You sound sure. He's too stubborn to die. The doctor nodded and left. Kim Sung-min followed her out. The factory fell silent. Hana sat on the floor beside the mattress, watched Joon-hyuk sleep. His breathing was steadier now. His color was better. She should go. She had a casino to run, an empire to manage, a crew that needed her. She didn't move. He woke at sunrise. The light filtered through the grimy windows, pale gold, touching his face. He blinked, looked around, saw her sitting beside him, her back against the wall, her eyes open. You stayed, he said. I stayed. Why? She was quiet for a long moment. Because I've spent 10 years running, she said. From Do-hyun, from myself, from everyone who ever tried to get close. She looked at him. I'm done running. Joon-hyuk pushed himself up on his elbows, winced, settled back down. What happens now? I don't know. She pulled her knees to her chest. Madame Yoon wants you dead. Do-hyun's men want you dead. Half of Seoul wants you dead. And you? She looked at him. At the scar. At the blood. At the man who had betrayed her, and saved her and made her feel something she thought she'd buried. "I want you to work for me," she said. "Not as a partner, not as anything more. As an employee. You do what I say. You follow my rules. And if you ever betray me again, I won't." "You will. It's who you are." She smiled. It was not a kind smile. "But I'll be ready. And when you do, I won't stab you in the shoulder." He nodded slowly. "Okay," he said. "I'll work for you." Good. She stood up, brushed off her clothes. "The car is outside. We're going back to Busan." "Together?" "Together." She helped him stand. He leaned on her, his arm over her shoulders, his weight heavy but not unbearable. "Hannah," he said as they walked toward the door. "What?" "I meant what I said. Before. In the basement." He stopped, looked at her. "I should have saved you for the right reasons. I should have been better. I'm sorry I wasn't." She looked at him. At the man who had tried to be a monster and failed. At the man who had tried to be a hero and failed. At the man who was just like her. Broken. Hungry. Desperate for something he couldn't name. "I know," she said. She opened the door. The sun was rising over Incheon. The city was waking up. And somewhere in the distance, the sea was waiting. Home. She helped him into the car, got behind the wheel, started the engine. "Don't die on the way," she said. "I'll try." She drove. Behind her, the factory disappeared. The past disappeared. The ghosts of Do-yeon and Minji and Mr. An faded into the morning light. Ahead of her, the road stretched south. Toward Busan. Toward home. Toward whatever came next. 6 months changed everything. Hana's casino in Busan was no longer a seafood warehouse with chandeliers. It was an empire now, spread across 2 cities, dozens of locations, hundreds of employees. The money flowed so fast, she had to hire 3 new accountants just to count it. But the heart of her operation remained the same. The warehouse, the baccarat table, the office where Minji had died. She refused to move. Sentiment, Dong-soo called it. Strategy, she corrected. Never let them know where you really are. Dong-soo had become her shadow in Seoul. He ran the Northern Territory with the same iron fist she used in the South. They spoke every day. He never asked about Joon-hyuk. She never offered. But Joon-hyuk was there. In Busan. In her warehouse. In her peripheral vision. Always. He didn't have a title. He wasn't her partner. He wasn't her lover. He was something in between. A ghost who had decided to haunt her specifically. She gave him tasks. He completed them. She gave him boundaries. He tested them. She gave him silence. He filled it with words she didn't want to hear. "You're staring again," she said one night, not looking up from her ledgers. "I'm admiring." "Same thing." He laughed. That low, warm sound that had once made her want to trust him. Now it just made her want to throw something. "The numbers from Incheon came in," he said, walking to her desk.
Madam Yoon took her cut, we took ours. Everyone's happy. No one's happy. They're just not fighting. Same thing. She looked up. He was leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed, scarred eyebrow raised. He looked healthier than he had in months. The weight was back on his frame. The color was back in his face. But his eyes were the same. Calculating. Watching. Waiting. What do you want, Joon-hyuk? Nothing. He pushed off the doorframe.
Walked to her desk. Set down a stack of cash. Your cut from the Seoul operation. Dong-soo sent it with me. You could have wired it. I wanted to see you. See me or watch me? He smiled. Both. She took the cash, counted it, didn't look at him. You should go back to Seoul. Dong-soo needs you there. Dong-soo doesn't need me. He tolerates me because you told him to. I told him to keep you alive. Same thing. She set down the cash, stood up, walked around the desk until she was standing in front of him. You're not funny, she said. I'm not trying to be funny. Then what are you trying to be? He looked at her. For a moment, the mask slipped. She saw something beneath it. Hunger, maybe. Or loneliness. It was hard to tell the difference anymore. I'm trying to be here, he said. That's all. She stepped back. Go to Seoul. Hana, go. He nodded, turned, walked to the door. At the threshold, he paused. The poker table in the back. The one you never use. What about it? I set it up. New felt. New cards. He looked back at her. In case you ever want to play. Then he was gone. Hana stood in her office, the cash still in her hands, the echo of his footsteps fading. She didn't play poker. She dealt baccarat. Baccarat was business. Poker was personal. And she didn't do personal. Weeks passed. Joon-hyuk stayed in Busan. Hana didn't ask him to leave again. He worked alongside her, not as a partner, not as a lover, but as something in between. They didn't trust each other. They didn't need to. They understood each other. That was enough. He handled the things she couldn't, the things that required a silver tongue and a flexible conscience, the things that made Dong-soo grind his teeth and her crew look away. She handled the things he couldn't, the things that required absolute authority and the willingness to use it, the things that made him go quiet and stare at the wall for hours. Together, they were unstoppable. But they were not together. Not in the way the crew whispered about. Not in the way the rumors suggested. They didn't share a bed. They didn't share a life. They shared a war. And when the war ended, they would share nothing. That was the agreement. Hana told herself that every night before she fell asleep. And every morning, when she walked into the casino and saw him already there, coffee in hand, watching the door, she told herself again, we don't trust each other. We don't need to. We understand each other. That's enough. One night, after the last game ended and the crew went home, Hana found herself standing in front of the poker table. New felt, green, soft under her fingers. New cards, still in the box. New chips, stacked in perfect rows. She had never used it. She had never wanted to. But tonight, the warehouse was empty. The city was quiet. And she was tired of being alone. She sat down in one of the chairs. Across from her, the other chair was empty. She sat there for a long time, staring at the empty seat. Then she heard footsteps. You came, Joon-hyuk said, from the doorway. I didn't come for you. Then what are you doing here? She looked at the cards, the chips, the felt. "I'm waiting," she said. "For what?" "I don't know yet." He walked to the table, sat down across from her. The distance between them was exactly 4 feet. It felt like miles. "Deal," she said. He raised an eyebrow. "No stakes?" "No stakes." He picked up the cards, shuffled. His hands moved like water, fluid, practiced, beautiful. She had watched him shuffle 100 times. She never got tired of it. He dealt. They played. The game was slow. Not because they were bad, because they were reading each other. Every flicker of an eye, every twitch of a finger, every breath. Hana had spent her life reading people. Criminals, debtors, men who thought they could lie to her. But Joon-hyuk was different. He didn't have tells. He had layers. And every time she thought she'd seen through one, another appeared beneath it. "You're thinking too much," he said. "I'm thinking just enough." "You're thinking about Do-hyun." She didn't answer. "It's okay," he continued. "I think about him too. Every day. Every night. In the moments between waking and sleeping, when I forget he's dead." "How do you make it stop?" "You don't." He laid down a card. "You learn to live with it. The same way you learn to live with everything else." "What else?" He looked at her. "The people you've lost. The things you've done. The person you used to be." Hana laid down her cards. She was losing. She didn't care. "I used to be someone who ran," she said. "Now I'm someone who stays." "Are you?" "I'm here, aren't I?" "You're here," he agreed. "But are you staying?" She didn't answer. They played in silence for a while. The only sounds were the cards on the felt and the distant hum of the city. "Why did you really come back?" she asked. "Not for revenge, not for the empire. Why did you come back to me?" Joon-hyuk set down his cards. "Because you're the only person who ever made me want to be better," he said. "Not good, better. There's a difference. You lied to me, used me, betrayed me. I know. And you expect me to forgive you?" "No." He met her eyes. "I expect you to understand. Because you've done the same thing. To yourself, to everyone who's ever cared about you." Her jaw tightened. "I've never..." "You've been running from yourself for 10 years, Hana. Building walls, pushing people away, telling yourself you don't need anyone." He leaned forward. "I know because I did the same thing, and I'm tired of it. So am I." The words came out before she could stop them. Joon-hyuk's expression softened. "Then stop," he said. "Stay." She looked at him, at the scar on his eyebrow, at the hands that had betrayed her and saved her, at the eyes that had seen her at her worst and hadn't looked away. "I don't trust you," she said. "I know." "I don't trust anyone." "I know." "But I'm tired." Her voice cracked. "I'm so tired of being alone." He reached across the table, took her hand. She didn't pull away. "You're not alone," he said. She looked at their joined hands, at his fingers intertwined with hers. "Deal the next hand," she said. He smiled, released her hand, picked up the cards. They played until the sun rose. The game had no winner. They had stopped keeping score hours ago. They were just playing now. Cards moving across felt, chips clicking, silence stretching between them like a living thing. Hana looked at the window. Gray light was seeping through the grimy glass. "We should stop," she said. "One more hand." One more. He dealt. She looked at her cards. A pair of eights. Not great. Not terrible. "What are we playing for?" she asked. Joon-hyuk looked at her. Really looked. The way he had looked at her that first night in the casino, like she was the only person in the room. He pushed all his chips to the center of the table. "Everything," he said. Hana stared at the chips, at his hands, at his face. "Everything is a lot," she said. "I know." "What if I lose?" "Then you lose." He leaned back in his chair. "But at least you played." She looked at her cards again. The pair of eights. The chips in front of her. The man across the table. She thought about the past 10 years. The running, the hiding, the walls she had built to keep everyone out. She thought about Mr. An, about Minji, about everyone she had lost because I was too afraid to let anyone in. She thought about Joon-hyuk, the man who had betrayed her, the man who had saved her, the man who was... He was sitting across from her, asking her to risk everything. She pushed her chips to the center. "Call," she said. He turned over his cards. A pair of nines. She turned over hers. Pair of eights. She lost. But she was smiling. "That's a terrible hand to go all in with," she said. "I know." "You're a terrible gambler." "I know." She stood up, walked around the table, stopped in front of him. He looked up at her, waiting. "You said you wanted to be better," she said. "Not good, better." "Yes." "I want that too." She held out her hand. He took it. She pulled him to his feet. They stood face to face, inches apart. "What now?" he asked. "I don't know." She looked at him. "But we figure it out together." "Together," he repeated. Together. The sun rose over Busan. The city woke up. The casino was empty, except for 2 people who had spent years running from each other and had finally stopped. They didn't trust each other. They didn't need to. They understood each other. And that was enough.